Hello, everyone. This is DJ Mega Aim, DJ Mega Aim 17, Anthony McDaniel, however you want to refer to me. So, this is going to be a different kind of live stream than I've been doing so far. So, this one is going to be just kind of discussing, reflecting on, I guess, what you would call my 1 year anniversary since starting this. For anyone that doesn't know what this is called Trikafta. It's a modulator medication, and basically, it's there to improve the health of those with cystic fibrosis. I started taking this medication back in 2016. No, back in 2019 of December 26th. That's what I meant to say. To the day after Christmas. So, just to kind of reflect on that, especially since I really haven't been like updating anyone on what's been going on with me since starting the medication. I did a video a while back showing myself actually taking the medication. I don't remember if I did like an unboxing of it, but yeah, I've done that video. I've taken a few pictures of the medication to show what it looks like, but that's as far as it went. I haven't really posted like much on explaining like what the medication does, or more importantly, what it's done for me. I decided I was just gonna wait until the year was done. I was originally gonna try to do a like maybe like a weekly or a monthly update, but I forgot. So I didn't do that. I was like, okay, what's the point? Well, you could say maybe I could have did like a bi-weekly or tri-weekly or whatever, like every like couple of months. But every time I thought about doing that, more months went by, so I was just like, you know what, I'll just wait. So here we are. First and foremost, I would like, wish everybody I guess a late Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Boxing Day, or pretty much Happy Holidays. Whatever it is that you celebrate, there's a lot of like holidays going on in December, so I hope you're enjoying it. December's almost finished. The year is almost done. I know it's been a very chaotic year, but we're getting through it. And hopefully next year will be a much better year than 2020 has been. Oh, I forgot to set up my microphone. Oh, well, I guess, I'll have to wait. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. So, I don't know, I'm gonna hang out for a bit just to see if I get any like comments or anything like that. Otherwise, I will probably end this in like a few minutes. So, I guess going into the update itself. When I first started this, yeah, I think that's how I'll do it. I'll explain my, I guess, the overall journey so far. So, I got the medication like I think halfway through December of last year, but I decided to hold off on it because I got really sick last year, and it really affected my schooling. So at the time when I did finally get the medication, I decided to put it on hold because I was like in the middle of doing finals, so I didn't want that to interfere with that any more than my health issues were already affecting things. And then I decided to put it off until Christmas. I was gonna even wait until the end of the end of the year going to next year, but I was like, all right, I'll take my chances because the whole thing was I was hearing a lot about what people are calling the purge. So I didn't want that again. I didn't want that to affect my schooling because at the time I was doing a TV class, so I was running a show, and I didn't want to have to like step out or leave especially in a dramatic fashion, like I can't run the show or whatever. So I decided just to hold off on it. I was like, oh, what's a few more weeks? I'll just wait. So what people were calling the purge is basically just like I'm trying to think of a way to explain it. Basically, like almost like your insides are being cleaned out. People complaining about like stomach issues, coughing, and some more, I guess, nasty stuff you can think about. Coughing stuff up and stuff coming out of other areas, if you know what I mean. Pretty much just a whole clean house thing. So that, along with any like intense like body pains, I was like, yeah, I'll wait. So I waited. I decided to do it after Christmas because my older sister also has cystic fibrosis, and she has took the medication before I did, and she was going through the purge. She had to actually stay over at our house, so my parents could watch her. That's how intense it was. Considering I already had like some chest pain issues that happened earlier that year, well, earlier that semester, because it's during the fall, so I should probably backpedal on that. I gotten sick from I don't know. It was kind of a weird story because basically what originally happened is I had hemoptysis, which is coughing up blood, and I was gonna go to the doctor's office to check that out. But the day before my doctor's appointment, I wound up going to the emergency room for chest pains. Now, when I actually did go to the emergency room, I had to go to first. I had to go to one that was near my house, and not where I actually follow up, which is like an hour away, more or less. So I had to stay like overnight at the emergency room, and actually follow up, go to my actual doctor's office or my actual hospital that I follow up at until like over a day later. It took a while because it was an emergency situation. And my older sister had also gotten sick around that time. She had actually went into the hospital the night before I went to the emergency room. So we're at two different hospitals, and we're just like it was chaotic. So my family was just running back and forth trying to make sure everything was okay with the both of us. Eventually, they transferred me there, and then everything's fine after that. I wound up having a room right next to my sister. But yeah, that's what happened. I had some intense chest pains. I never actually find out what it was though, because when they finally did the X-ray, the chest pains were gone after they gave me pain medication, and they didn't find anything. So again, this hasn't been confirmed, but I just assumed maybe it was like a gas bubble, since it felt something akin to it. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe that's what that was, but who knows? So after dealing with that situation, I come out the hospital, and again, I was just struggling with school after that because I'm getting home IV, and it was conflicting with my schooling schedule, so I just wound up showing up late a lot of times. So that made things far more difficult. So with dealing with all of that, and then finding out that I'm finally getting this medication we've been trying to get approved for a while now, and then it's finally here. I'm just like, I'll wait because if what people within the CF community is saying is true about I guess like the first few weeks of it, that could become again more of another issue. So that's why I didn't wind up taking it immediately. And I think I made a decent decision with that. It was a risk, and so I decided, I'll wait. Not too long, but just long enough where it doesn't really interfere with too many things. And I also didn't want that to affect my Christmas either, so that's why I waited until the day after. I was like, all right, this is the day I'm going to be doing it. I told the doctors that's the day I'm going to be doing it, and that's exactly what I did. So I believe I taped it somewhere. I'm pretty sure, hopefully, I uploaded it somewhere because unfortunately I had to restart my phone a few times to make space, so the original video that was on is gone. But I'm pretty sure it's online somewhere. It should be on like Instagram or Facebook or something. Because I usually post stuff like that on there. So I'll probably just have to dig it up and maybe I'll find it somewhere. Hopefully. If not, well, now you have this live stream that I guess can kind of make up for it. Since it's going to be on YouTube, it should mostly be there. I won't say forever, but for a long time, more or less. So for the first 2 weeks, because this is like the crucial time for this medication, like the first 2 to 3 weeks, I actually did not really receive much of a purge like everyone else was saying it was. Now, you would think maybe this would be a bad thing or a disappointment, but for me, considering what I would do like throughout that time frame, I was like, that's probably a good thing. And besides, it's not like I didn't get any improvement or anything like that. I did. So yeah, not much. So yeah, first 2 weeks, not much has happened, and then no, it was like I think it was like the first few days, and then one day I started coughing up more. I had a little more of an intense cough, and then after that, it kind of went back to just not being much of anything. But I did cough stuff up, and I guess that was like the plug that getting opened or something. Because I've heard people kind of refer to it as such as well. But I do know after that minor coughing spasm I had of coughing stuff up, I did notice that my breathing actually did start to improve slowly. But yes, it did. So, so one thing I did wind up doing with that medication, which wound up clearly being a mistake, was that when I started the medication, I decided to go off all of my medication. So I took no treatments. All of it was just the Trikafta. That's all I did. So, but here's the thing, though. I didn't really know you wasn't supposed to do that. So when I did go to my doctor's appointment to kind of see how I was progressing after like 1 month of using it, I did get scolded by them, but for that, I was like, I didn't know that. And that also wound up being like the last in person appointment that I've had with them since. So, but here's the thing, though. I did show some improvement despite not, I guess you could say, taking it properly per se. So just being on a month of it with no other medication, my lung function went up by 2%. So I was like, all right, that's cool. It may not seem like much, and maybe it isn't, but I think that was still very impressive especially for someone that wasn't even taking it right. So, and then after that, not really much happens because after that you have the pandemic. So I haven't been able to see much in how much I've improved since then. I've been trying to take my medication, like my treatments and stuff, at least a little more frequently. So I'm hoping maybe I increase at least by at least another percent. But for me, honestly, any percentage increase is good, especially since for like the past few years, my lung function and overall health in general has been declining pretty massively. The doctors, I think, even said at one point that my CF had advanced, and Like back in 2018, like one time I was hospitalized, I actually wound up being on the PIC line for, which is a home IV for anyone that doesn't know what that is. So I wound up on that for like 7 weeks. So initial, so I had the initial three. Yeah, I had the initial 3 week treatment, and then they left the PIC line in for like 2 weeks. To see if I would have a relapse, which I wound up doing. And then they gave me another extra 2 weeks to rectify that, and not much really was rectified. I mean, they kind of brought it back up from where I fell, but it didn't go any further than that. So my lung function had overall just wind up being at 40% by the end of the whole situation, from what was originally in the 50 percentile. And there really wasn't much improvement since then. So I was like, okay, that's obviously that's not good. And since then, I was like pretty down about it. I was like, wow, this is terrible. And this is probably that was probably like the first time I was really seeing myself actually getting sicker. But usually, I'm pretty optimistic about my situation. Even though I'm between my sister and I've always been the sicker one of the two. But she's always been the more healthy one between the two of us. Like even on a bad day, she's she's usually scoring more than I am on a good day. So, but yeah, like that. Yeah, the situation was getting worse with that. And something my family also had brought to my attention, which is that apparently if you watch my old videos, you can actually see how sick I was getting. So I just actually decided to do that. I was watching one of my old live streams for the fun of it. Back in the old Mega Aim Hangout days. And yeah, I actually realized that I was actually having a hard time like catching my breath or even just breathing on there. So I was like, wow. That was kind of like an epiphany right there. I was like, wow, this is how I sounded to people when I was talking to them. This is how I sounded when I was doing videos and stuff. So that was a little surreal in a more negative way. Let me make sure this mic is on. Yeah. So yeah, that was a really surreal situation right there. And it's interesting how you don't really see that until you're away from that situation. That's when you really get to see like, oh yeah, that was a problem. Well, I guess it's easier to see it in hindsight than it is when you're actually in it. But unfortunately, there wasn't really much I could do. It's just that was unfortunate. This is how things progress or regress, I guess you could say, as far as it being more on the negative side of things. That's just the story of being a CF or someone with a chronic disease. So, and this is exactly why I've decided to start doing the stuff that I'm doing. So, I guess going more into, I guess how this thing's changed my life overall. Like, obviously, health wise, I'm feeling great. Like, I can breathe. I'm not as congested. I've definitely been gaining weight, and like I'm actually maintaining my weight now. Maybe a little too much. I need to start working out, which I will be doing in 2021, by the way. And since now that I'm actually feeling good, I'm actually able to do stuff. I was even outrunning one of my friends, doing like exercise and stuff. So now I'm actually able to do that. I decided, you know what? should try to find something I want to do with myself. And I decided I want to give back. So I've been throughout the year. I've been trying to get more involved in the CF community. So I've been just doing events and stuff like that, including speaking roles. Even though I'm not the most social person, actually I'm pretty antisocial. I I really don't like public speaking and stuff, but I decided to just start doing that stuff anyway. One, to kind of help with that, as well as just the fact that again, I want to get back. So one of the things I was doing this year was actually it's funny. This stream is actually starting to become more of a like what do they call those? Like a looking back at 2020. I guess it could be that. I guess this is kind of a two in one. You see, you're getting the two for here. You're getting my Trikafta experience and just my overall thoughts of the year because they kind of coincide with each other, really. I could do this on New Year's Eve, but I might do something else on there. Who knows? Or not. Probably not, but hey, I'll have something for New Year's itself, but we'll see. But yeah, so over the summer, well, obviously, I had school this semester, so switching from being in person to just being on remotely abruptly, that was a hard transition, but I made it through. So over the summer, a matter of fact, I think like the week or even like the days after I finished the semester, I started I started doing this thing for this company called CF Strollo or CF Strollo U or no CFLF. It's called Cystic Fibrosis Lifestyle Foundation, and they had something called like CF Strollo U or whatever. Basically, it was kind of like an activity thing, to give people with CF and their families and friends something to do over the pandemic. Because for anyone that doesn't know, I did try to make a video about this a while ago, but in one of my CF vlogs, which I will be starting up again soon, along with many other things. So, what was basically the deal is May is CF Awareness Month or Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month. Now, if I recall, I think there might be some other awareness stuff that happens during May too. But CF that's one of the things that they're doing. So for the first 2 weeks, that's how that whole Strollo U thing was supposed to go. It was supposed to be only for 2 weeks, I believe, but it got so popular that they wound up extending it. So my older sister, who wound up getting involved in that, she brought my younger sister and myself into it, and we were all teaching classes. I came in last because again, this is in the middle of finals, so I was just focusing on that. So once that was cleared, I was all right. Here we go. So my older sister, Tiffany, she's doing CF as well. So she was teaching a cooking class. My younger sister, Jennifer, was teaching an art class, and then I wound up teaching a music production beat making class. But because I came in late and my classes were biweekly, well, all of our classes were biweekly, I only wound up teaching 2 classes. But it's fine for someone coming in late, and especially for an event that was only supposed to be for 2 weeks, that wound up getting extended all the way into 2 months. And it probably would have went longer too if it wasn't for the fact that everything started to open up around that point. So I was doing that. I was doing what else I was doing? I was participating in some CF video calls, with CF related video calls. Also got into a program for a few weeks before the fall semester of 2020 started, so I was doing that. I even wound up co-facilitating with my sister in a group meeting. No, that's not it. That's not up. Oh, a breakout session for one of the big CF events from the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation called BreatheCon. So I wound up co-facilitating with that. We facilitated the people of color breakout session. Basically, people, basically like minorities with cystic fibrosis. Since that there aren't many of us that have it, so we did that. And BreatheCon is a 2-day event. I was always thinking maybe they should do 3 days, but thinking about it now, after the second day, I don't want to say I was over it, but I was definitely exhausted. So those are just a few of the things that I've been busy with. As a matter of fact, just finished another CF event recently. So those are the things I've been trying to do. Now, another major thing I should mention is for one of my classes that I was doing. So also, I'm in the radio and TV production program major at my school. So that's what I'm going for, basically media. So one of my classes is called like electronic media management. It's basically I'll explain. So basically, what we had to do for this class was to build our own business, our own brand. So what I decided to do was to revive my YouTube channel, which was something I was already planning on doing anyway. But doing this class kind of gave it more of a push. So I was like, all right. So I was thinking, if I'm gonna be doing this, I have to do this right. So I'm gonna just kind of do an overhaul. Now, I did try to restart my channel before. I actually did try to make like a new YouTube channel. So if you see like a second DJ Mega Aim 17, or what should be labeled now as DJ Mega Aim backup channel, that is me too. And yes, that is my backup channel. I have 2 videos on there. The CF vlog about my about the CF awareness month, and just like an intro to that channel. I did that because at the time my channel had strikes, and I was unsure about what was going to happen with that channel. And it took a while for me to fix that. So, but then again, if I recall, I think those strikes kind of do go away after a certain point. But this was like back in like 2017, I think. 2017, 2018. Yeah, I think it was 2017. Or it might have been 2016. But basically around that time period. Now, I started going back to school in 2017, so that was one of the reasons why I had to put a lot of the YouTube stuff on hold. That, along with the continuous like computer issues that I would have kind of going through computers, so that was always an issue. And then when I did try to have some time to actually try to put it together, then I realized so much had changed with live streaming and even video making, which unfortunately made things a little more difficult to try to revive my channel and all that. For one, they got rid of Google Hangouts, so you can't just stream on there anymore. So I had to find a new streaming site, a new streaming platform, and that was annoying. So I tried Google Meet, and then I realized I couldn't just use Google Meet if I wanted to stream on YouTube. I had to find like an auxiliary thing. So I ended up at some point downloading stuff like FilmShare, which not necessarily for stream per se, but that was more so because I wanted to do live reactions. Because at the time, this was still when the like for example the Final Fantasy VII remake was still in development. They were having all these like trailers and stuff. This is back in like 2019. So I wanted to do reactions to that, but that didn't work out too well, and it was taking too long. And then by the time I even started to figure out how to do it, I actually wound up watching the whole video anyway. So I just had to just discard that idea. I also got another editing thing called it's pretty much like the replacement for Windows Movie Maker. It's like MovieZilla or something like that. I don't know. I don't really like it that much, but I'm gonna keep using it because I already paid for it. It was quite pricey too. I didn't like that either. To actually make the full videos, which I did need for my class, so That was annoying. I also downloaded OBS, which was to help stream stuff like Google Meets or Zoom or Blue Gene or any of that type of stuff to YouTube, and that was very confusing. Eventually, I figured it out, but it just didn't pan out too well. Like, for example, if you watch, I think the last test stream I did on my channel, it's still up. I plan on putting that stuff on private or unlisted at some point. But the last like test stream was actually supposed to be the live stream, but it got cut off like 6 minutes in. This was even before like the actual episode was supposed to start. Because what I originally was going to do was that I was going to go live first, and then I was going to wait a few minutes, check to make sure everything was going well, and then after that, then I will start the show like welcome to dot 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 dot, and the show will go as normal, and then I would cut out the beginning section of nothingness in post production. But then the stream cut out the actual show itself and left the practice run, the preparation, the pre-show as the actual show. So after that happened, I was like, all right, I'm done with OBS. I still have it, but I'm not using it right now. So then I tried StreamYard, and that wound up being a lot easier, which is what I'm using right now. You probably can see it on the screen. So that's what I've been doing. And now that I've actually got a few episodes in on one of the podcasts I'm doing, which is called Better Late Than Never, which is it's supposed to be an anime and video game podcast, but I decided to kind of put like the everything in between just to kind of give us some leeway, because I know we kind of tend to talk about other things or just kind of meander into other things, even stuff that have nothing to do with that. Just to create leeway basically, and that is what I wind up submitting for my class, and I basically use that as a way to kind of just get like a practice run for doing like the other like stuff that I really want to do. Not to say that the podcast I'm doing right now is not something I want to do. I do, but yeah, I have even bigger passion projects that I'm trying to put together. Again, involving stuff like this. So what it looks like is I'm probably gonna have at least probably like 3 or 4 podcasts. So one of the other ones I'm planning on doing, this one now, this page has been online for a while, which is called, right now it's called the 65 Roses Podcast, but I might change the name to 65 Rose Petals. Just because someone within the CM community has informed me that that name, 65 Roses, is copyrighted by I believe by the 65 Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Now, I probably maybe could work something out with them since I have worked with them before, but I don't feel like doing that. So I guess right now I'm just waiting till I get like 1,000 followers on really on Facebook and Instagram. I have a Twitter page too, but my Twitter pages aren't really like popping like that, so I don't really care if you get 1,000 followers on there. And I don't really like Twitter anyway, so it's my least favorite of the social media sites. So I'm more concerned with like Facebook and Instagram getting those followers. Instagram especially, but Facebook too, since Facebook has like the most followers in regards to that particular page. And it's funny too because that page has been getting a lot of followers. Like, obviously people with CF or have some connection to CF, mainly due to the name. Only recently have I been getting like other people that I know that kind of follow the page, but for the most part, it's the one that's been getting the most traction naturally because people are just following the page. Funny thing about it though is that I try to remain anonymous with that page or pages. If you check all my other pages, my name is usually on it, but that's the one that doesn't have my name on it. The funny thing about it is that most of the people are aware that I'm the one running the page because I've even had people I've just start interacting with, say, "Oh yeah, don't you have like a podcast thing you're running or whatever?" Or even like there was the person that told me about the whole copyright issue. Never interacted with this person at all. This is like my first time interacting with this person. They mentioned, they talked about the page. I was like, oh. Granted, I do have there people some of my senior friends or whatever. I guess they know about it, so maybe I guess they inform people, but it's not really a big deal. I'm not even sure why I even wanted to remain anonymous. Oh yeah, I did. I do now. I just want people just to follow a page on its own merit and not because I'm running it. That was pretty much my mindset with that. That was my logic with it. Yeah, doesn't really matter to me now. I can really care less if for whatever reason you're following. I guess as long as I'm just getting followers, but basically, spread the word. So, although I've been thinking lately if I should even still do that podcast, mainly because there's another podcast I'm going to be doing as well. But I think I'll probably still do it because that's something I deal with personally. But there's another podcast that's going to be somewhat related to that, and what I'm probably going to be doing, which is something that's already kind of happening anyway, which is I'm going to be doing a lot of um, pretty much like a lot of cross collaboration between all the stuff I'm going to be running. For example, so the third one is going to be called Chronically Chill, which is going to be a podcast about like just overall disabilities. This one was just one of those things I was just thinking like, oh, okay, I should do that too. Didn't really think too deep into it, but some people that I'm friends with in school that have disabilities, they decided they wanted to jump on it too. So it's like, okay, I guess now I really got to take this one seriously. So I'm in the pre-productions for that one, and then the last one I'm going to be doing, at least for now, is going to be a music podcast. So there is no name, there's no working name for it right now. I'll let you know when that happens. But basically, that's all the stuff I'm going to be doing right now. Yeah, I know that's a lot. And on top of that, I also have music related stuff I'm doing. So, I make music on the side and I'll just kind of make some beats every now and again. I'm very inconsistent with it. I've been doing it since like, I don't know, 2012, 2013, 2014. Like it's been a minute, but again, it's very consistent. Which is why I haven't really been promoting it much. But lately I have been trying to put a little more of it, I guess. So that's one of the other things I'm doing. The music stuff for that is called MABPM, which stands for Mega Aim Beats Production Machine. Like BPM, like beats per minute? Yeah. I thought that sounded cool. I also have some other stuff that I might actually turn into a thing, like MATV, which stands for Mega Aim TV, or MA Radio. Mega Aim Radio. Basically, what I'm going to be doing overall is that what I was trying to do, and what I am going to be doing, is that all of the stuff on all of my projects is going to be under one big umbrella, just simply known as MAP. Well, that's the initials. It stands for Mega Aim Productions, and that also includes my YouTube channel as well. Especially since that's where I'm gonna be posting most of my stuff anyway. So like YouTube, SoundCloud, those are like my main places I'm gonna be posting my content. But as far as like streaming is concerned and like video stuff, all that stuff is gonna be on my YouTube channel. I did make a channel specifically for the Better Late Than Never podcast, but I'm probably not gonna use it. It's still there, but I'm just probably gonna leave it alone for now. If anything, it'll be used like as a backup measure in case anything goes wrong. But I think I'm just gonna have all my stuff just be on the one channel, and then all the social media pages is just going to be geared towards certain things. So what I'm basically going to be doing is I'm just going to be putting a playlist. So how I'm doing things is that I'm streaming all my content live on YouTube through StreamYard, and then later on during the week I'm going to be editing them, and then I'm going to upload the edited version. And then after that, I'll probably like put the stream versions on private just to just to keep that private. And what I'm also going to do is that I'm going to premiere the edited version of the live stream of the podcast live streams, so people can interact with it just as they would be able to when it's actually streaming live proper. So you get a twofer. And if you leave a and if you comment on the chat in the first initial live stream, your comment may be featured on the episode. So when it premieres, you'll be like, "Oh, there's my comment." But yeah, but that's pretty much it, really. I think that is everything for the most part. I guess I could talk about future plans, but I already have like a CF event I gotta register for, so that's already something right there. But yeah, that's some of the stuff I plan on doing, you know. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it. Just create a website, which I did for the final of my class. It's an okay website. It's passable, I guess. So that's something I'm not going to be promoting just yet, but I'm letting you know it exists. So I also have some new equipment that I gotta work through now. So hopefully we'll be having some higher quality content. And I'm getting through all the editing of all my projects slowly but surely. So, but overall, just expect to see more content with whatever it is that I'm doing, whether it's my CF stuff, my music stuff, video game, anime, whatever, or just updating people about stuff like this. Again, like this medication really was a huge change in my life. But I realized after I started taking it, like when I started to feel good, I was like, okay, now that I feel good physically, now and it's changing my life physically. Now I need to change myself mentally and start to level up. So, and that's what I did, and so here we are. I know I wouldn't talk too much about my overall experience, but my overall experience isn't really too different from maybe what you've heard from other people. So just kind of brief, basically. It's just me getting explain more just about the overall effects it had on my life and what I've been doing since then, and what I will be doing in the future. Again, I'm doing it's just for me. It's in a way to give back. It's therapeutic for me. It's fun for me, and frankly, it's something I actually have passion for, and I feel like I finally found my passion. It's weird because for me, it's always been one of those things where it's not like per se that I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but more so just I guess the reasoning behind it. But now I have that. And I hope things are going well with everyone else. Life is hard, but you can get through it. Always always keep that positive energy, like my friend always says, who I will be having as a guest on my podcast soon. I don't know about this very next episode, but relatively soon. It should be a fun one. I forgot to share this. I don't know, it seems a little late now because I'm about to get off soon. But I'll do it anyway. Now, for anyone that's watching, if you have any comments, this is probably the best time to do it now because I will be getting off in a few minutes. Did not expect for it to be this long. I was honestly planning on doing this maybe like 30 minutes. But again, here we are. I wish there was a way you could stream this on Instagram. That would be so great, but I know they can't do that. They really need to figure out a way they can do that, especially since now you can actually post like stories on Instagram and photos and stuff. So they should find a way for you to be able to just like live stream on there. What I do plan to do at some point is being able to live stream on multiple platforms at once. That would be great. Although I think you have to pay for that, and I think I will pay for that at some point. But when I have more stable income, I will do that. Oh, yep. Alright, so I posted on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, I know I'm doing this very late. I'll probably have this go on to when did I start this? 11. Yeah, I'll probably do this until either 11:50, 11:55, or 12. Yeah, look, wow, everybody's live right now. But then again, it is Saturday, so you gotta do what you gotta do. I haven't really checked the chat. Let me see if anybody's saying anything. No. Like I said, any thoughts, concerns, is put in the chat. I hope everyone got to enjoy their Christmas. I hope everyone's been enjoying the holidays so far. Again, it's not the most ideal, December Christmas season. It's really not the most ideal thing, unfortunately. But what can you really do about it? You have to. Again, we're in the midst of a pandemic, and unfortunately, we don't know how long this is gonna last. The way things are looking, this could last a while. I hate saying that, by the way. I really do, but it really could last a while. But we'll see what happens. The pandemic hasn't affected me too negatively. I mean, at times it could be a little depressing not being around everybody, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, personally. Even though I was wearing a mask before this even happened. I've had some people bring this up to me like, you was ahead of the game. It was like, yeah, I guess. Although I do know there's like, other CFers that were doing that too. So you can say we were ahead of the game, but we were just taking precautions just in general. And I started doing that like in 2018 after my first like really bad situation of being sick. So I also forgot to mention in 2018 I got sick twice at the beginning of the year and the end of the year. So it was like I begun the year in the hospital and I pretty much ended the year in the hospital more or less. So after that situation, so like, yeah, I'm gonna wear a mask. I don't want just for precautions for myself, so I won't have to get sick or sicker, I should say. How well that works? Well, I guess it works to some degree, or as well as it was going to work. See, I remember, like we have, those of us that have these disabilities, we have compromised health, which will probably also mean like more or less you probably may have also low immune system or weak immune system. So you gotta be careful. This is also why I haven't been really outside that much outside of school. Really, occasionally go out shopping or something. Like the Christmas shopping is probably the most I've been outside of just going back and forth to school. So let's see where we're at now. That's 15 minutes. So we're gonna close this down in like 10 minutes. Have it be like a full hour. I wanted to start at. I really wanted to start at 11 o'clock exactly, but I missed it by 1 minute. So we're gonna see if we can end this in 1 hour exactly. Uh, but yeah, I really would have loved to have been able to stream this on Instagram. I had to make the choice. Am I going to stream this on Instagram or am I going to stream this on YouTube? And I was like, YouTube, obviously. If I was going to stream it on Instagram, I should have did it earlier. Because you can't save live streams on Instagram, so that's unfortunate. Also, because I haven't posted I haven't made any posts recently, so I'm gonna have to do that. I also want to share this on LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn page for anyone that's wants to find me on there. Like you can basically find me on social media. So on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, all that stuff you can find me either as my full name, Anthony Isel McDaniel, or you can find me as my YouTube name, DJ Game 17. I'm trying to mostly make it DJ Game 17. And actually, I would prefer you just find me through that DJ Game 17. Like I have Facebook pages. I have a DJ Game 17 page as well. Obviously the one with my name, that's my personal account, and I'm not really looking to add random people to that. No offense to anyone. As I do appreciate all the followers and subscribers that I have gotten. But I hope you understand that. Like follow my pages. And if you need to message me, probably honestly do it on Instagram because I'm more likely to respond there. I will respond on Facebook too, but I've been more active on Instagram lately. It's the one I prefer to use the most. Don't message me on Twitter because I'm not gonna answer it. Not because not because I'm ignoring you, but because I don't check Twitter that much. Matter of fact, the only reason why I even still have a Twitter is because it is still a pretty popular social media site, especially for celebrities for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why. I still don't understand the hype of Instagram, not Instagram, Twitter. If someone could explain that to me, like why people, at least like why these big celebrities and stuff are so in love with it, and all their followers, I'm just like, why? Like for me, Twitter just seems like the most like useless of the bunch. Like you can do, I guess that's also because I tend to have much longer posts. Like you have a limited amount of characters, and I've heard people say they like that about it, and I can understand why. Having more limited characters it will force you to get to the point of what you're trying to say. But the thing that really also kind of drives me away from Twitter is the fact that you can't live stream on there. You can't on Facebook. You can on Instagram technically, not in the way I would like to, but you can't do it on Twitter for some reason. It's a little weird. Even though you can even though you can share links on it, but whatever. But that's what it is. All right, so this has all been shared on my accounts. So I hope everyone is getting a good chance to look at this before it ends. Because let's see, we're ending this in like 5 minutes, I believe. So, any last thoughts or concerns? See, I got like 1 or 2 views off of this. I mean, my streams don't really get that much traction because it's I'm still very small and I need to work on my promotion and scheduling. But for what this is, this was fun. Like I said, this was just really just me trying to just put out content, basically. This is a personal thing for me, really. So that's just my update on everything that's happening with me with this medication and just in my life, really. Things are looking great. I'm looking for things to be even better, despite all the chaos that's happening in this world. Just trying to bring some joy in people's lives, really. With all the craziness that's going on, I think that's very important. And I hope that everybody that has CF will get a chance to take this medication if they can, or if and for like the 10% that can't take the medication, I hope they are able to get something that can help them as well. Because I know a few people that are in that 10%, so or just people that may not be able to take it for whatever reason. So hopefully they're able to get something great for them as well. So it has to be hard to see everybody like rejoicing, about this life changing medication. You're just in that space where it's like, well, that's great for you, but what about for me? So I really do hope that everybody's able to get something out of that, and just keep fighting. Really, just keep fighting. Like, don't give up. And I know that's easier said than done. Trust me, I know. But it's worth it because the moment you give up, it's the moment you've already lost. Because at that point, there's nothing you can do. Like, you have to keep fighting even to the end. I mean, all honestly, we're all on borrowed time, really. But unfortunately, for some of us, it's even shorter. So, just again, just keep fighting. Just enjoy your life. Enjoy it to the best you can be, to the best of your abilities. Because you only get one life. And once that life is gone, so again, I hope everyone's enjoying their day. Shout out to Canada because I think they got approved earlier this year or earlier this month or last month. Like within these past 4 months, they got approved. I do know that. Wait, was it Canada or was it somewhere else? Well, whatever places got approved recently. Shout out to y'all. And shout out to all the people with CF and all these other disabilities from around the world. I look forward to have you guys on my shows when it happens. If you guys want to, if you guys are interested in being part of any of these shows that I'm going to be doing, you guys let me know. You can again message me on Instagram at DJ MegaAim17. You can also do that on Facebook, but really just do it on Instagram. You can email me at djmegaAim@gmail.com. So you can message me on YouTube. Leave a comment on one of the videos. You can leave a comment on this one, and I will respond at some point. Maybe not immediately, but I will respond. So again, definitely let me know if you want to be a guest on any of my shows, especially like with those two, with the 65 Roses, 65 Roses and Chronically Chill. But anyway, I have to go. Good night, everyone. I love you, and